It's hump day.
Hump day!
It's hump day.
Hump day!
Yeah. You know, I know we're live, but I have to tell myself every time before we start, I can't move. I got told that I move a lot when I start talking, so now I have to mentally tell myself. So I just thought I'd share that with everybody. So if you see me wiggling around or moving, you can type something in there and say stop.
Yeah, sometimes people move too much when they talk, and it gets a little bit annoying. You know?
I don't know what you're talking about, but moving right into announcements. Hey, everybody, welcome to Hump Day Hangouts. Today is the 23rd of March till midnight here, and this is going to be episode 72. So we got almost everybody here. I think Chris was busy doing something, but anyways, we'll go down the line like we do, and we'll start with Hernan. How's it going, man?
Hey, Adam. Hey, everyone. It's really good to be here.
Hey, Marco, what's up? How's the weather? Sorry, that's what I should have said.
Warm and sunny.
He was going to tell us that anyways.
And Bradley, how's it going, man?
Good, man. Good. Glad to be here.
Good deal. Well, as far as announcements go today, not much. We want to let everybody know who doesn't know. Hopefully most of the people here already do know. IFTTT 2.0 coming out Monday morning. All right, 9 a.m. EST. Sales page is going to be live, and we're going to have a special discount available for the first week. All right. So
And a bonus.
What's that?
And a bonus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So for the first 7 days, significant price reduction. And then on the first 24 hours, we're tossing in a free course. So you can find out about that once we go live. We're going to keep it very hush-hush until then. But, you know, go check it out. As always, we highly recommend you join. But, you know, regardless, we're always going to be here for the Hump Day Hangouts to help you out. So in case you're not aware of how to get notifications from us, I'm going to pop a link in here that you can go and sign up, and we'll let you know about the launch when it happens and keep you in the loop on that. So that's what I've got. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to tell people about?
Just excited to get the course out and put a lot of work into it. And both Hernan and I kind of tag teamed it, and it's damn strong. It's actually ridiculous how cheap we're selling it compared to what's in it.
Oh, yeah. 120 something videos, guys. It's crazy.
It's not really that many, is it? Is it really?
I think it is. Yeah.
I know it was like 100 and some. I didn't realize it was that many. Damn. Well, let's we need to renegotiate this price, guys.
Nope.
Yeah.
We're locked. We're done. So
we're done. No, but I mean you're right. We're selling it. We're selling it really cheap in the initial launch. The initial launch phase. That then it's gonna go up substantially because of the course and the material and the amount of time that we put into it. And also there's the community, which is I think a great asset to it. So yeah, it's gonna be up. So if you want to jump, you better jump it quick.
Yeah.
Awesome. Also, it looks like Chris showed up. Chris, are you here?
Yay!
Hey, how's it going, man? Good. We were just going down the line and done our announcements, and I said, I don't know. I guess Chris is busy, but glad to have you.
Chris and I were partying it up down in Orlando at Marketing Mayhem together. So.
Yeah. If anybody didn't see it, did you guys keep the video up? Was that on your page, Bradley, or Chris's? The Facebook Live video?
Oh, I believe it was on my my personal Facebook page because we had to stream it. How did we do that, Chris? Oh, we had to log in through your iPhone, didn't we?
Yeah, because Android can't handle it yet.
I thought they just launched it live. Anyways, we'll have to try it out.
Yeah, I don't care for Apple products or Facebook, so.
We'll be in San Diego next week, so we'll give it a shot.
So yeah, if anybody is in San Diego next week too, hit us up.
Yeah, let us know if you're going to the ClickFunnels conference or if you're in San Diego for any other reason. We're amenable to free beers, you know, just saying.
Oh, yeah. We'll meet for beer. I'll be wearing that shirt.
Right.
We'll consult for beer.
Outstanding. That's a lot of beer.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I guess we can get into doing some work now.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's get started.
You ever watch the show with, was it Rob Dyrdek or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
Robin Big. Remember Robin Big, that show?
Yeah, that was awesome.
It always goes, time to work. Big, it's time to work. All right, let's get into it. I know there's a bunch of questions already, so let's lock the screen. Okay, you guys should be seeing everything all right, I hope. All right, there's one question that got marked as spam. I figure we'll go ahead and try to run through that one first because that's in like a special screen. You have to click a button to go to a special screen to see it, and I can't get it to restore to the actual page. So I might be a little bit out of order, but I'm going to.
At some point, so I can, because I can't see that.
You can see me though, correct?
Yeah, but I just want the text. I'll find it later.
All right. I'll drop the link in Slack. I don't know if you'll be able to actually enter that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you'll need to log in as a semantic mastery.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to see it, so we might just have to wing this one.
That's right. I'll get it later.
Okay. Hey guys, thanks for letting me in. I have spent hours listening to all of your latest Hump Day Hangouts and has started to build a small group of PBNs supported by their own IFTTT networks to eventually point to a money site or top-level site that links to a money site. I have one question which I have not seen covered online and wondered if you guys could advise. I use private internet access every time I log into a PR to visit a PBN of mine, and each one associated with different whois info and hosts spread across various countries on the main well-known host, so I'm being careful, but I have just noticed the properties, i.e. metadata of the images pulled from search to use as content have the owner and computer listed, and it describes the machine on my, i.e. my desktop and its serial number or whatever. So once a pic is downloaded, it has this attached, it would seem, right-click image to properties. I know one could only ever link to external images, but it is that not a quality footprint juice leak problem. Okay, Dean, click to view the image on your computer. Don't download it. Click to view the image into a separate browser window or whatever, browser tab, and then take a screenshot of it. And we talked about this last week, I think, but when you take a screenshot of an image, you're not downloading any metadata because it's a brand new image, right? So, and then save the image as a JPEG or JPG, because then you can add your own metadata to the image, which gives you some additional opportunities to optimize the image. So that's what I would do. I don't typically download images from online anymore for various reasons, but one of them being the metadata issue. Okay, says, I know one can attach metadata via Google's Picasso, but again, that's not machine data, is it? As far as machine data, I haven't seen any issues with that. I just take screenshots, and then it may say something about the actual computer on there, but I think you're being a bit paranoid if that's the case. To be honest with you, I think that's a little bit tin hat kind of stuff, tinfoil hat stuff. But again, I wouldn't worry about it. It's not something I worry about. When I take screenshots of images, use those on PBNs. I add my own metadata so I can optimize for different keywords. I can add my own EXIF data if you're using like GeoSetter or some sort of tool like that where you can add coordinates, latitude and longitude and things like that, and then just upload those images to my WordPress sites. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Very good. So there's your answer.
Yeah.
All right, on to the questions not marked as spam. All right, Tim, 1991, says, hey guys, I know that you like to use your branded IFTTT properties as a buffer between your money sites and your manually built backlinks, PBNs / or SAPE links. Yeah, that depends, but that's a fair statement. I was wondering if you build links only to your branded IFTTT properties or if you build backlinks directly to your money site as well. Also, which are your preferred properties to hit with backlinks and why, or do you build them evenly to all of them? Okay, first part of that question. No, if you have highly themed PBNs that are well themed, like they're the entire site is topically related to what it is that you're going to be linking to, and it can be a bit broader. But like for example, if you've got a roofing site you're trying to rank and you have a home improvement style PBN, then a PBN that's like themed around home improvement, then you could use that PBN to link to your roofing site and link to an HVAC site and a landscaper site and a painter's site, carpet cleaner's site, all that, because it makes sense to do so. What I don't recommend is if you have a PBN, I wouldn't link directly to my money site from a PBN if it's like one of those general PBNs that have like 15 different categories that are really unrelated on them. In that case, then I would only link to my tier 1 properties instead, so that I'm not linking directly to the money site. So if it's well themed, you can link directly to your money site. All right. When it's not well themed and you are linking to your tier 1 properties, it's important you'll get more benefit or more bang for your buck if you can link to properties that have do follow links, particularly your blog properties like Blogger, Tumblr, WordPress. And Tumblr's got the redirect now, so there's a little bit of a loss. But like Blogger and WordPress, you can have contextual links. So you can have links that get a little bit more keyword relevancy or topical relevancy based on them being anchor text links within the content of a post that's topically related to your money site. So those are the ones that I would typically link to. Don't get me wrong, I link to all of my IFTTT properties, not just the do follow link ones. But if I have a particularly strong link that I want to use to push juice through a do follow, to push juice to my money site without linking directly to my money site, then I will strategically use that through a do follow link, and most likely a contextual link within the content body of a post. If that makes sense. You want to add to that or not?
Yeah, I was about to say that a great way to build backlinks to, for example, PBNs is to have their own IFTTT syndication networks to each of your PBNs. So that way you're powering them up. But also, as you were saying, even with Tumblr having the new redirect, we are using Weebly now on the updated training, and I think that's fine. I don't know, have we figured out if they were indexed or not?
Yeah, you can get the page or the post indexed, but the robots.txt will block like any metadata, like meta description from coming through. However, there's still SEO value there.
Yeah, definitely, and it's still a contextual link. So yeah, I would do those. Even further, if you have like one-off links like PBNs or SAPE links, when you're building to one-offs, what I like to do is to grab, for example, let's say that you have a page that you wanna power up. I will write a blog post pointing backlinks to that page, so the blog post will syndicate, and I will grab the individual URLs for each of those blog posts and power those URLs with SAPE or PBNs. They are like one-off, and that will power up the blog post, which in turn will power up the page that you want to rank for, because that blog post as well, it will have a link back to the page, provided it's internal linking. So that's something that I like doing. For general powering up purposes, I would, we will power up the home page. But
of the IFTTT property.
Of the IFTTT property, yeah, of the IFTTT property. But if you want to push some extra juice on those stubborn internal pages or internal posts, that's something that I recommend doing, and it works really well. You're powering up the internal URL where that blog post has been syndicated out. So.
Yep, it's a good strategy. Like, that's what part of our SEO strategy and the whole use of the networks is to build links internally from your blog. So you use content marketing from your own blog. So publishing posts to your blog which have contextual links within the body of the post that point to the pages that you're trying to rank. Those posts then syndicate to your branded network properties, which case will each get their own post URL from WordPress, Tumblr, Blogger, Weebly, and Medium if you're using Medium, which is covered in the new training as well. And each one of those, you can extract the individual post URLs from each one of those platforms. That would give you a total of 5 URLs that now you have as additional targets for PBN or SAPE links that aren't well themed to begin with.
Yeah.
So, the follow-up question is: provided you build a majority of strong links to your branded IFTTT network, how important do you consider blog comments, press releases, forum posts pointing directly to your money site in regards to backlink diversity, number, or referring domains? I think it's important. I use press releases a lot. I do blog comments, but not as much because it requires. I don't do like automated blog comments. I do manual blog comments. I usually just have a VA do that for me, where they'll go out and find related posts that are topically related to the money site, and then they'll leave a real comment in the blog in the description, or in the comment section. So that's a manual thing. So I don't do as much of that. Press releases is so much easier for me to just have a press release distributed. Press releases, though, they will typically kind of pull your trust flow down a little bit, because a lot of the press release sites don't, like, they have really poor trust flow metrics for that particular press release. So the URL flow metrics are low. So just be aware of that. However, I think it's important to have that because it does give you backlink diversity, so referring domains and IP diversity. So I think press releases are important, and I think it's natural to have press releases as part of your overall backlink profile. So I use a lot of press releases. Plus, they just generate traffic, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
Forum posts, I don't do any forum posting, but I think that if you're posting in related forums, they can drive traffic. So as far as the backlink value, I don't know how valuable that is, but for the sheer targeted traffic that it could generate, I think it's important.
Yeah. Yeah, and you hit it with that, Bradley. I mean, if you're looking for blog comments opportunities or forum post opportunities, you need to, you know, I would rather focus on the traffic rather than the actual backlink, because if you can generate traffic back from that website, it's usually themed and it's usually powerful because they already have traffic, you know, to that forum post or to that blog post. However, you know, you cannot spam them. I mean, to have the real good benefits from this strategy, you cannot spam them. You need to be really helpful.
Yeah.
Like on the blog comments, leaving a real blog comment, as you were saying, Bradley, or on the forum post, leaving a real thread when you are helpful, or actually, you know, leaving a link back in the signature. But you need to build those profiles in times. The same with blog comments. You need to be helpful. And even further with something like Discuss, where you have your own profile, and then you will have your own, like, your own feed of comments that you have left, you know, and those are all linking back to your website. So you're actually building an authority profile on Discuss based on those blog comments, you know. So you need to, I would say that you focus on this strategy from a value-giving point of view, and that will bring you traffic, which is the most important part.
Yeah. Yeah, and just remember, you know, the targeted traffic coming in, that's a ranking signal. So it actually just having that, because it's engagement on your page. So if your website is receiving targeted traffic and it's giving you good time on site metrics, and people are clicking other links, so they're basically engaging with your site. And if it's targeted traffic, they're most likely to. Then that's actually a ranking signal as well. So although the backlinks themselves may not be like have a huge SEO benefit, that the actual engagement signals will, if that makes sense. All right, Robert says he's building a YouTube playlist and he wants to know keyword usage. He's basically saying that if he's building a monosilo, if you guys aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, go pick up YouTube Silo Academy. It's only $7. It's still $7, right? We didn't change that, did we? Before I put my foot in my mouth.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. So his top level keyword is the top of the silo, which would be essentially the first video in the playlist. It's probably the playlist title as well. And then what he's doing is using the same keyword but just adding local modifiers at the end. And within that, he's linking from one video to the next, to the next, to the next, and essentially creating a monosilo structure within one playlist. He's asking if this is spammy. No, it's not considered keyword stuffing as long as each one of your video files are unique enough. Now, you got to be careful because YouTube is becoming increasingly trigger happy when it comes to terminating accounts. I know because I've in the recent weeks have seen some crazy things happen with some YouTube channels, and you know, getting strikes and things like that. And we've actually disputed a few of them and had them reversed, the strikes reversed. But I just want you to be careful that if you're going to be doing that, that's okay. But just make sure that your videos are somewhat unique. In other words, not just using the same video and changing the you know. What I recommend is having at least a few videos that you make each one of those, like you know, if you're doing 20 videos, for example, I would have maybe 4 or 5 different videos within those 20 videos that you could use over and over again, but the file structure should be different. Like, it could be encoded differently. You could change the video slightly by adding an opening slide or a closing slide, changing background music, changing the lengths of the videos, but try to make them unique somewhat, because the point is having those keywords like that, that's not actually a spam signal, in my opinion. It hasn't caused me any problems in the past. But if you have the same video over and over and over again with only very, very minor changes, it's going to look really spammy. And if anybody were to actually manually review, then they'll probably terminate that account. or at least remove all those videos and give you a strike, a community strike. So personally, I would recommend that if you're going to be doing that with a lot of videos, that you have somewhat unique videos, or at least a handful of unique videos that you use over and over again, but still make them unique as far as YouTube is concerned. Does that make sense? Was that clear, you guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think you make it clear. Yeah.
And then there's a period here, because I guess he forgot to put the period down here. So I'm going to go ahead and +1 that for punctuation. That's good punctuation skills, Robert. +1. Paul says, hey guys, my question is about the personas in our networks. Can we use our personas to give reviews to our clients' businesses, citations, maps, packs, etc.? Thanks and keep up the good work. You can, Paul. You certainly can. I don't recommend doing spam reviews, but I mean, that's what it is. But you can. If you're comfortable doing that and you're okay with it, doesn't keep you up at night, then feel free to do so.
Yeah, and also provided that the persona is, carefully built, I should say.
Yep.
Like, it's not. It can pass a manual review. That's what I'm saying.
Yep. Just be careful doing it. If you got a strong profile that you built up, those are assets, guys. You can use them for things like that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Remember, you're creating an identity. That's in part what all these IFTTT networks and interlinking and using the semantic hubs and all of it is about. And if you end up picking up IFTTT v2, you'll go. I hammer that home throughout the training because they are so damn powerful, especially using the new methods that we've cooked up. So, Greg says, hey, everybody, my site is a lead gen site for a service business, so I did not have a map showing in Google My Business page. Did not have a map showing. Is a lead gen for a service business. Some questions that I build my citations. Why? It's a service business, so I did not have a map showing in Google My Business page. I don't understand that. Because if you have a local, if you're doing a lead gen site, even if you're doing a service-based business, which means your customers don't come to the business goes to the customers, you'd still want a local page which would have a map. You would just select the hide your address option. So maybe I'm not understanding the question, or maybe that's, I'm not sure what he's saying here, but I'm going to move on. Some of the citations provide an option to show a map or not. Should I also not show maps in these? Well, the problem is with citations, if you have, I'm assuming you do have a local page and you've selected the don't show my location option, it will still show a map, but it just won't show the pin where the actual physical location, in air quotes, is. It'll just show a round map marker in the city area, so it won't be a specific pin like marking where the address is, if that's what you're talking about. The citations that provide to show a map or not, as long as you can still add your address in there, if there's an option to not show the location, I just select that. Because again, if you're doing but a lot of the citations, here's the thing, Greg, probably 90% of the citations that you can create don't have that option. So you're going to have to list that pseudo address regardless in order to build. So that's an issue. That's something that when I create lead gen properties and I get a physical location for those, typically a mailbox somewhere, whatever, then I still end up listing those addresses in just about every citation directory because it doesn't give you the option. Most of them don't give you the option to hide it. So what I'm really concerned with is the Google listing mainly. But even Yelp, for that matter, I think Yelp shows the address. And Yelp is a place that you'll get traffic from. By the way, just so you guys know, in case you're not already aware of this, if you add a business listing to Yelp, prepare to be absolutely hammered with phone calls from Yelp, sales calls, with them trying to sell you advertising. They are relentless. I've got Yelp listings from 4 years ago that I set up, and every single year around springtime, because it's their tree service businesses, I start getting hammered like 3-4 calls a week from Yelp. For 4 years I haven't advertised with them, and yet they still call every spring for about 3 months straight. They'll call several times per week. It's absolutely ridiculous. I can't stand Yelp.
Tell us how you really feel, Bradley.
Oh, it's so annoying, dude. Every time what I do is I keep blocking the numbers from I keep hitting the block on my Verizon phone or whatever, so that each time they call, I block another number, and then they just call from a new number. Bastards.
Well, there is an easy solution to that, Bradley.
What's that?
Just wire money to them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That would shut them up.
Just pay them some money.
Right.
Okay, so a few citations will not display the street address unless a map is shown. If I choose not to show a map or not having an address other than the city displayed, introduce inconsistent listings. I want the citations to be as perfectly consistent as possible. Then, Greg, you're just going to have to use the address. Okay, if you're concerned about it, yeah, the citations are stronger when you have consistency, including the street address, because the 3 data points are name, address, and phone number, right? Those are the 3 most important data points. So you want all of those to be consistent across as many citations as you can. A few strong citations don't provide a URL link. Some offer do follow link for $10 a month, which seems priced too high. Nah, don't do that. For a $15 one payment, one will add what is called a true web link, direct link to website for SEO purposes. Is that worth it in your opinion? No, because there's too many out there that will give you a link. And even those that don't give you a link, they're called unstructured citations. Doesn't matter. Those are still valuable for ranking in Google Maps. So don't worry about that. There's other ways that you can get links that don't have a monthly fee or that are more powerful anyways. So I don't ever do that. I have a lot have option to add Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and other property links. I'm adding these in. Isn't this almost like a mini link network? Should I add in any of the IFTTT properties I've built that can be added to the citations? If there's locations for those specific properties, yeah, why not? It's all branded, right? I mean, we're not trying to hide our footprint with branded properties, guys. We want to just broadcast that footprint as much as possible to show how authoritative we are.
Yeah, and I think he makes a good point. I mean, on the new training on V2, we are. I mean, you're making the point of authorizing other social networks on when you're opening accounts, branded accounts. That's actually another check mark on the authority checklist. That's another check mark. That's another way of authorizing your network or your profile. So I think that every time that you can post additional websites, not only you will be powering up your profile, but also it can potentially bring you traffic to those websites. That's what they are for.
Yeah. All right, last 2, and 2 citations suggested by BrightLlocal or Herald Tribune and nfwdailynews. These end up with the following URLs. Are both of these truly separate or somewhat duplicate? It doesn't matter. Those are different. Those are considered different URLs. They're different. They're unique URLs, unique referring domains, regardless. So there's nothing wrong with that. Should I add the MapQuest as a citation? It's a map. Yeah, MapQuest is a powerful citation. Again, I don't worry about that. I build all the citations that I need to rank, and then I stop building citations. And I use a lot of pseudo addresses, and it works just fine. I just hide it in Maps. That's it. In Google Maps, I mean. Ed says, hey, and also in Bing Maps. I choose the note don't show in Bing Maps option as well. Hey guys, in the wake of IFTTT now removing app.net and Diigo from the service, should we go into the recipes and shut them down, or does it matter? It doesn't matter, Ed. When they actually completely remove them, they're just not going to work. So it doesn't matter. If you want to go and log in, I personally have way too many accounts to do that, so I just let them, whatever. By the way, there is a workaround for Diigo. It was actually posted in the first IFTTT SEO Academy as well, but it's also being covered in the second because Diigo is a social data hub, guys. It's too important to stop using. So there's a 2-step recipe workaround that works just fine for posting the Diigo. It's been tested and it's in the new training as well. So because the Diigo is funny because actually right after I had done the new training, recorded the videos, like seriously during the time that I was recording the training videos is when they decided to remove those. So I was like, oh shit, let me go back and do an update video saying, by the way, Diigo's been removed, here's how you fix it, blah blah blah. So
right.
Wish they could have, if it would have been like 2 days earlier, I would have saved a lot of additional work.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Ortiz, what's up? I have a couple questions regarding to raising page authority in the money site and on your courses. Here are my questions. Do you guys have a course specifically for hiring outsourcers like Curation Mastery and Mastermind? It goes into detail. No, it's either it's a bonus for Curation Mastery. It was also in Master Class where we covered that, and obviously in the Mastermind we've covered it multiple times as well. So those are the only 3 places you have. We do not have a standalone course for hiring outsourcers yet. That may be something that we do down sometime this year, possibly, but don't hold me to it. is the IFTTT property surrounding my money site considered tier 1? Yes. If not, then what is considered tier 1? Yes, they're tier 1. Anything that links directly to your money site is considered tier 1. Anything that links directly to your money site is considered tier 1. Citation, IFTTT properties, backlinks, anything at all that links directly to your money site is considered a tier 1. Can I use FCS Networker to point a money keyword over to my syndicated IFTTT properties like Twitter, Yelp? Well, Yelp's not an IFTTT property, but okay, Google Places, YouTube video without a penalty. Well, you have to be careful with what you're doing. If you know how to use the tool properly, yeah, but I mean, don't like hammer away exact match keyword anchor text only to all your tier 1 properties, because then you'll pass that through any do follow links to your money site. So you just got to use diversity. Just make sure you're using diverse anchor text, mainly URL, and naked URL anchors, and like generic keywords or very broad keywords.
Yeah, and just research when FCS Networker just send a handful of backlinks to each syndicated property, like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20, just a handful of them. You know, you do not need that many to power them up. In fact, being branded, they need to be treated as extensions of your brand, so you need to be really careful because they can actually generate sales and they are additional landing pages. So I would be careful, just send a handful of them.
Yeah. If my tier 2 is a money keyword and it is pointed to tier 1, which is a naked URL or brand URL, will my money page rank for keywords still getting the affected tier 2? Yes. In fact, especially if they're if your tier 1 links back to your money site are do follow links, then any that again, and that's back to question 3. That's why I recommend that you keep those tier 2 links with a diverse set of anchor text, because you can overdo it. If your tier 2 links are like exact match keywords, first of all, that looks unnatural. But whenever you're linking to your tier 1 properties, just like what Hernan said, you don't want to burn your tier 1 properties either. But yes, the relevancy, keyword relevancy, passes through do follow links, guys. So just keep that in mind. Do follow links, whether they're naked URLs, brand URLs, whatever, it doesn't matter. A do follow link will pass keyword relevancy. Okay. Gotta say, glad to have made it for the first time. We'll +1 that. Kenny King says, good afternoon. How's it going? Good. So I've had a solid branded IFTTT network. Okay, we post regularly up to 4 times a week, mostly 3 times, so it's nice and active. I want to boost some individual pages on our main site. I've not done excuse me, any tier 2 links, but just wanted to ask 2 questions about tier 2 and possibly 3. What type of links would you point at a tier 1 branded network? Would you maybe buy some PBN links from a forum, or would you keep it even cleaner? No, I mean, you could. We've done a ton of stuff with SAPE. They're typically cheaper than PBN links if you know where to get them or find them yourself from the SAPE network. But again, it comes down to what you're pointing links to. If you're pointing to no follow links, then you can get away with a lot more. Like you can be a little bit sloppier. I recommend what Hernan mentioned was that you always try to keep your tier 2 links as themed and as clean as possible. Like, don't hit your tier 1 links with kitchen sink spam or from really, really poor PBN links and things like that. It will do more harm than good. So you're better off trying to find some decent links with decent metrics, particularly that are topically related. Therein lies the rub, right? That's the hard part, is finding tier 2 links to point directly to tier 1 links that are topically related or relevant, if that makes sense. But if you can, that's your best bet. Because, guys, it's more and more about relevancy than it is about links, right? Even at tier 2. And so, again, if you're looking at your tier, what you don't want to do is like get links from completely unrelated blogs pointing to your tier 1 properties that are most likely your branded properties anyways, which you just mentioned in the first part of your question. Because then it really doesn't make sense. And Google start looking 2 hops back. They're looking 2 tiers back now. And so unrelated links pointing to your tier 1 properties just looks unnatural. It's clear what you're trying to do. So again, I try to keep them as relevant as possible. And that can be challenging, but you can definitely do it. All right. That's why we recommend doing stuff like like a layer of FCS or additional Web 2 links pointing to your tier 1 links, because then you can spam behind those or use more unrelated links to as tier 3 links, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and can you have in mind that when you have a branded tier one network, you know, and you have those big, I would say big links opportunities, it makes a lot of sense. For example, you know, for an author that's publishing a guest post to link back to the money site and also to link back to the Twitter profile, for example, or the Google Plus profile or the LinkedIn profile. So I wouldn't be afraid of actually, you know, if you have those opportunities to actually, you know, send a link to your money site and also to your tier one. I mean, it makes a lot of sense from an editorial standpoint, and your Twitter profile or your company Twitter profile will link back to your money site anyways, you know, so you're powering up the entire structure that way.
Yeah.
So that's what I like doing when, I don't know, commenting on related blog posts, as we mentioned before. You know, I usually leave a link to my Twitter profile or to Semantic Mastery Twitter or Google Plus. And that, you know, that usually for Google Plus, that usually has a list of other links to your, not only to your money site, but also to other links in your IFTTT network. So.
Yep. All right, the second part is for individual pages, would you point tier 2 links at an individual post or posts that point to an individual page to try to boost the page on the main money site? Yeah, we answered that. Same exact question right on this very webinar, but absolutely. Syndicate a post from your main money site that's got an internal link within the body of the content body that's pointing to the page that you're trying to rank on your site. Then when that post syndicates, go to your blog properties especially, go capture the post URLs from each one of those blog properties, Blogger, Tumblr, WordPress, Medium, and Weebly if you're using those, and now you can build links directly to those, and that will give you essentially a tier 3 link, like remember your first link is coming from your own post on your main money site to your page, right? Ultimately what you're trying to do is rank your page. So the first tier link comes from an internal link from within your blog post itself. Then you've got the syndicated post to your money or your branded properties, right? So that's like essentially a tier 2 link, right? And then you build links to those individual post URLs, and that gives you the tier 3. So you can be a bit more, you know, aggressive with those because you're putting 2 hops between your page and the actual additional link building that you do. But absolutely, that's a powerful strategy. And again, Hernan talked about doing that just earlier. John says, hello guys, I have a IFTTT brand network for a website. A lot of good questions today. It's all about IFTTT. It's kind of themed for this big launch. I have around 30 good aged Tumblr accounts that have trust flow of 10 to 21 with clean backlinks and anchor text. It's awesome, John. Some have links from edu, wikis, libraries, and all have links from real non-Tumblr sites. Should I use them to backlink to the IFTTT network properties instead link them to citations? You can do either, John. Those are powerful assets that you have there.
Yeah.
Finding Tumblrs with good metrics, guys, is a great strategy. It's still very, very powerful, even with those redirect links. So, you can use them for either. What I like to do is, again, try when you have opportunities like that, like assets that you can use that are clean and have good metrics, guys, then that's when I get a lot more focused with whether I'm linking to do follow or no follow links, because you can use the do follow links that you can find from your networks very strategically when you have stuff like this. Would you spread them out and use only 1 or 2 Tumblrs to link to 15 different IFTTT properties or citations, or instead focus on 3 properties and link 10 Tumblrs to each of those 3 properties or citations? John, I would focus on finding the ones that have do follow links and building all of the Tumblrs that you have available to the however many do follow links you can identify. So if you have, like, let's say you find 6 properties or 8 properties include from IFTTT networks to citations that have do follow links, then I would just spread out the available links from your Tumblr accounts to those. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Bradley, but what I like doing when I'm in doubt where to link to is to actually search for the brand name on Google. You know, Google will tell you the first 10 spots. Those are the more relevant for the brand. You know, yeah. So you can get your Twitter, you can get, I don't know, a Medium profile, you can get a citation, you can get all sorts of different backlinks, and those are the most relevant for your brand on the Google side. So power up those.
Yeah, let Google tell you which properties it thinks are the most valuable or important to your money site, to your brand. Right. And then build links to those. That said, guys, I do want to kind of disclaim something here, because I mentioned through other Hump Day Hangouts that the whole do follow, no follow thing is not as much of an issue. And I stand by that statement. So it might sound contradictory based on some of the responses I've given today, but I want to explain that I build links to all of my properties, especially my branded properties, regardless of whether they're follow or no follow. It doesn't matter to me because all of those links are going to show up in your Google Search Console as backlinks to your site. In my opinion, it's absolutely natural and important to have no follow links as well. All I'm saying here is that when you have unique opportunities such as what John has here with these tumblers, then that's when I'll take that extra step and find the do follow links that, especially the ones like what Hernan said, gives Google tells me are the properties that are the strongest. Like I usually look at the top 20, so the first 2 pages, to see what Google's telling me are the most important properties to my brand, and then I'll scrape those real quick to see which ones have do follow links, and those are the ones that I'll use to build these type of opportunities. When I have these kind of assets, I'll use those do follow links to build from these, if that makes sense. Okay, so just so you know, it's important to have a mix of everything, but when you have some opportunities like this that you can use, there's obviously some benefit to identifying which are the more powerful properties in Google's mind and the ones that have do follow attributes, so you can kind of push juice through those. All right. Do you think these tumblers will be strong backlinks? Yes, absolutely. All are themed, and I just are hesitant to link any directly to my money site. I'd still, John, to be honest with you, I'd probably link a few of them directly to the money site. Not like 10, but I might take 2 or 3 and link directly to the money site too, just with a well-written post on those tumblers. Okay? Just make sure the content is strong if you're going to link direct. Don't do it with all of them, but take a couple of them. Why not? Find some of your strongest ones. Just put a well-written post on that Tumblr with a link directly to your money site too. There's nothing wrong with that. It's natural. Kevin, hey guys, I have a few questions. We're running out of time, guys. We're going to wrap it up about 10 minutes early from now on so that we can get prepared for masterclass. So let's try to run through the next few. I have a few questions about DA boosting on a subdomain with GSA. What?
Hey, Bradley?
Yep.
If I can just jump in here real quick. This question is really advanced, and it's stuff that we cover inside the mastermind.
I agree. I'm reading it now.
Sometimes masterclass. So sorry, Kevin. I mean, you can go over it a little bit, but it's just things that we keep for our mastermind students.
Yeah, it is a bit advanced, Kevin, and honestly, this is something that probably shouldn't be talking about on public webinars. That's for sure.
Yeah, otherwise we'll have to kill you, Kevin.
Well, yeah, us or the
that
Google
is
gods.
really hardcore. This Hump Day Hangout just escalated.
Yeah.
That or the Google gods will strike us dead too, you know.
Right.
So. Let's just say, Kevin, doing that whole boosting method, if you do it right, you can boost them. I mean, I've gone from a DA1 to a DA47 in 2 Moz update cycles. So basically 60 days or so. Doing it that way. Although I can tell you, to be honest, it's not near as effective as it used to be. And I'm sorry if you're following other people that tell you that DA boosting is so it's still as effective as it was, but it's just not correct. It's not near as effective as it used to be, so it's not something I even focus on anymore. I focus on manipulating trust flow now. Honestly, the whole DA boosting thing, there's still some benefit there. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not saying it's useless or it's dead, but it's not near as effective as it used to be. And I try to accomplish what I want to accomplish with the least amount of work, so that's why I focus on manipulating trust flow instead, and topical trust flow, more importantly. So just keep that in mind, Kevin. Honestly, this sounds like a lot of work for something that's probably not going to benefit you nearly as much as you hope that it will. So. Greg says, hey, Bradley, you mentioned in a video that you've used PressCable Press releases but didn't think they were all that good. They're okay. Don't get me wrong. I've used many other press release services, and I'm not crazy about PressCable. There's a few reasons why. I think their editorial guidelines are too strict, number one. Number two, the WYSIWYG editor sucks. It gives you absolutely no options to do anything within the content. So it's just too simple. But anyways, that's up to you if you want to use it. The distribution is good, but they're just too limited in their editorial guidelines as well as their editing. Their content editor. Let's see. I plan to write them in good PR format. I'm wondering how much confidence I should have in their press releases. Yeah, Greg, their service is fine. The distribution service is fine. It's quite strong, actually. I'll give you that. But I just don't like the editorial process of the content editor. Jenny says, I want to create a site like Gen Videos. How do I drive traffic to it? Marco, you know a bit more about Gen Videos than I do. I can talk about the traffic end, but what is Gen Videos exactly?
Yeah, that's just a website where you can watch free videos.
Okay.
Free movies. It's something, I don't know. Popcorn Time was really popular.
Yeah, kind of the popcorn time. Yeah.
Yeah. There's Popcorn Time is still around. I mean, you can find it even though they tried to shut it down. It still works. But that's what it's like. I mean, just you're providing free videos and displaying ads. I mean, the ads are what will make you the money. So
that's the revenue model.
Right.
Yeah. So the revenue model is advertising, and you're looking to drive traffic to it. Well, obviously, IFTTT networks is a good way to start, right? Create a bunch of networks to it, so that you every new post or new entry, new listing, whatever it is, however it's posted to, would get syndicated out across the network, branded networks particularly. And if it's just a video style site, you could essentially get away with tiered networks on that as well, most likely.
Yeah, you may want to jump into V2, Jenny, when we launch, probably next week. So. Yeah.
What else could you could probably? I mean, you could do some RYS stuff for this too, couldn't you?
I would throw the combo at this, man. IFTTT 2.0 and then some RYS Academy just to power it up, because it'll start ranking real quick for medium, high, and lower terms, and the low-hanging fruit will almost rank automatically with RYS Academy, man.
Yeah.
So if you put it all together, IFTTT V2.0, the Twitter SEO Academy, and then some RYS Academy magic, and you're good to go.
Yeah. What's good about these kind of websites and these kind of models is that they are like really viral. In fact, these guys, these Gen Video guys, they have the Facebook comments added. So if you want to do something viral when you're uploading free movies, the downside with that is that it's kind of on the legal aspect, but the virality, the viral aspect is that it can bring you a ton of traffic and also a ton of good signals. So I think IFTTT can bring you both backlinks and that traffic that you need to make it viral.
Yeah.
Set up your servers in Panama, Jenny.
All right, guys, we got about 3 minutes, so we're going to try to run through the next couple really quickly. We'll have to cut it off at 10 till. Sorry, but we're going to try to get through these very quickly. John says, I can't find your video where you discuss geotagging images and recommended us to take the pictures with our own phones. Not with your phone, John. That would suck. Those pictures would be awful. If you tried to take pictures with your phones, well, wait a minute. I could be misunderstanding. When I talk about screenshotting an image, like if you're viewing an image on your computer and you don't want to download it because of the metadata, take a screenshot of it. Use something like Jing. I personally use Snagit, which is also by TechSmith. It's just an upgrade, but it's a little bit better than Jing. Has more options, but whatever screenshot software you use is fine. Just download it as a JPEG or JPG. I think we talked about this earlier. But if you're doing like local stuff, like honestly, the most powerful images are going to be ones that you take yourself or that you get the client to take or whatever from a phone, because those are original images, and Google weights original images more. So that's something that you can do absolutely, is take photos with your phone or camera of the place of business and that kind of stuff, and that's going to be more powerful too. But I'm not sure if you were talking about screenshotting, do not use your phone, because that would be terrible. Like, if you're trying to take a screenshot with your phone of a computer screen, it would be an awful picture. Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Yeah, use something like, I like using LikeShot, which is a Chrome extension. It's the same for Firefox. So LikeShot plugin, and you can grab a portion of the screen. With that, you'll click on the print screen button, and you can grab a portion of the screen and save that.
I like Screenshot. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, so it doesn't really matter what you use. I use Snagit because I use that for all my recording of videos and everything as well. So that's personally like my recommendation. But Jing is free. All these other ones you're talking about are free. So just find something, take screenshots. Cropping some of my own pictures. If you've cropped some of your pictures with MS Paint isn't going to do anything with the metadata. So if there's already existing metadata, it's not going to change it. So just so you know that's not going to change that. Did you remove the geolocation data from the images? Does this remove? No, it won't change. Again, if you've downloaded somebody else's image and there's metadata attached, you're downloading the metadata. The only way to get around that is to screenshot it, so that you're taking an original photo or a shot of that image that's only been generated on your computer. It was born on your computer, so there's no metadata attached. Does that make sense? Okay, if so, is GeoSetter a good program to add this data? Yes, GeoSetter is what I use to add metadata. You can add metadata if you're on a Windows computer by right-clicking, choosing Properties, and then going to the Details tab. And as long as it's a JPEG, PNG it won't work. But for a JPEG image, you can add your own metadata there. But it won't give you the EXIF data, which is where you add geo coordinates. So that's where you geotag by adding coordinates. Okay, so something like GeoSetter is a software program that will allow you to add geo coordinates as well. So that is exactly what I use. I am not sure if anything other than GPS coordinates needs to be added. Thank you for your help. The other thing that I add is, again, if you right-click on an image and show Properties and then click on Details, you can add a title, subject, tags, details, or description. Then you can add in like the author URL and copyright URL, so you can actually put links in the metadata. And then you can add in, again, with software programs, you can add in geocoordinates. All right, this has got to be the last one because we're already a couple minutes over. Sorry, Jackie. Again, I did see your question earlier, Jackie. We can't do audits. We can't do audits on Hump Day Hangouts. It's not what Hump Day Hangouts is for. We can answer questions. Unfortunately, we're not going to have time to answer this one. But if you want audits, join the masterclass and do it before Monday when the price goes up, because on Monday the price is going up on that too. But on masterclass we do audits. In fact, we have masterclass in about 8 minutes, and we have somebody that's got 2 sites they want us to audit, and we're going to be doing it there. So I apologize for that. Bo says, hey team, I have a question regarding tiered networks. Has there been changes to how many tiers deep we go with blog syndication? I think I overheard that for safety reasons we no longer go below tier 1. No, Bo, and in the new training, I cover this. Like, again, I hammer some of these points home in the new training, guys, because they're the same questions that come up over and over and over and over again. So I say them over and over and over again in the new training. Some of you guys are going to get tired of hearing some of that stuff in the new training, trust me, but I don't care. To be honest with you, I get tired of answering the same questions over. Bo, I'm not mad at you, dude. You're one of our good students, so don't think I'm saying that. I'm just letting you know, be prepared. The new training is going to cover all this. But I do not say that we don't do tiered networks. I just say that tiered networks requires that extra level of care and attention to properly minimize your footprint. There is no footprint with branded networks, guys. Remember that. But with tiered networks for blog syndication, there is an issue with potential problems of creating a footprint because you're clearly trying to manipulate search results. So you have to add in your additional content triggers related to content feeds as tier 2 triggers to populate your tiered networks with additional related content from other sources, which minimizes the footprint. For that reason, because it's an additional attention to detail and work, and I manage too many damn accounts, I just don't do tiered networks for blog syndication anymore. I only do it specifically for YouTube, where we don't even need related content feeds. There's no footprint issue with YouTube syndication. Blog syndication there is. So it's okay to use tiered networks, provided that you add in those additional steps that we teach you how to do. If you have more than just a handful of sites to manage, it's too much work, in my opinion, to maintain all of that, so I just don't do it. That's all I'm saying. Personally, I don't do tiered networks for blog syndication anymore, but you're welcome to do it. They are still very effective, still very, very powerful, but they just require those additional steps, and you must follow those additional steps or you're setting yourself up for trouble. That's all I'm saying. Okay? YouTube networks, go to town, man. Build as many tiers out as you want. Stack as many networks as you want. You don't need related content feeds, at least for now. It works like a charm. So.
And add them on SERP space so that you're constantly monitoring them.
Absolutely. SERP space, baby. Okay. Sorry, guys. We got to wrap it up. We'll see everybody in Masterclass in about 5 minutes. And Hump Day Hangouts next week. I will not be there. Neither will Adam, because we will be in sunny San Diego for the ClickFunnels event. But you will have our fearless cohort Hernan and Marco, and potentially Chris as well, to be on Hump Day Hangouts with you. So.
Yes, sir. And get ready for Monday, everybody.
IFTTT V2, baby.
Boom.
All right, guys. We'll
Bye,
see you in a
everyone.
bit. Bye.